Hello, I'm Giles Darling and I write novels, plays and non-fiction books. In this video, I show an example of how to create dozens of story ideas from a what-if moment. This follows the process outlined in my How to Create Story Ideas videos, which I include a link to below. In this video, my what-if moment was prompted by a newspaper article about the increase in homeschooling in recent times. The article mentioned that improvements in computer-based learning tools and apps, including the use of limited AI or artificial intelligence, had helped this trend. This led me to wonder, what if AI eventually replaced all human teachers? How would this impact on society? What could be the unintended consequences? Even though I'm not a teacher and I don't know anything special about artificial intelligence, this nonetheless offers lots of potential story ideas. The first step to create story ideas from a what-if moment is to ask some open-ended questions and to come up with some initial answers along with some follow-on questions. So let's get started. Question 1. How would AI work? At least two challenges need to be resolved for a fully functioning AI teacher to work correctly. Firstly, how would an AI machine be programmed to become a teacher? And secondly, how would it interact with students, including reading body language and dealing with disruptive children? Other challenges exist, for example creating a walking, talking robot, but they're beyond the scope of this series of videos. Your story idea could be about a software programmer or computer scientist solving one or both of these two challenges. Let's consider each of them more closely. Currently, a human teacher has a range of methods that they use to educate children, selecting the best method for each student. For example, some children like to be shown how to do something, while others like to work it out for themselves, often prompted by the teacher. Some children can grasp concepts straight away, while others require a lot of repetition. And some children need to move around and make a noise in order to learn, while others like to stay still and keep quiet. In addition, many children will respond to a mix of methods. They can require different methods for different subjects, for example learning foreign languages versus studying maths or science, and their needs can change as the child progresses through school. Indeed, your story idea could centre on an AI teacher struggling, despite all its programmed knowledge, to find the best mix of methods to help a troubled child to learn. This range of methods is particularly relevant for factual subjects. For example, there's only so many ways to teach that 2 + 2 = 4, that a verb is a doing word, or how many wives Henry VIII had. A human teacher will know a limited range of methods based primarily on what they learnt at teacher training college and their subsequent on-the-job experiences. An AI machine, on the other hand, could be programmed with a far wider range of methods, combining the best from thousands of teachers. In addition, unlike humans, it won't forget the rarer methods that don't get used as often. Solving the second challenge of reading body language and dealing with disruptive children requires a combination of software programming and the physical form of the AI teacher. As mentioned earlier, your story idea could centre around a computer programmer who solves the body language challenge, maybe after some initial setbacks. Dealing with disruptive school children will depend on the physical appearance and abilities of the AI teacher. I consider this more closely in the next couple of questions. Question 2. What physical form would the AI teacher take? The AI teacher needs to pass information to its students and to respond to feedback. At its simplest, information can be displayed on a computer screen or via the screen of a tablet for students learning on the move. Spoken words and other sounds can be transmitted via the computer's or tablet's speakers, or via a pair of headphones worn by the student. Alternatively, a student could wear augmented reality or AR glasses. This would suit a group of children in a classroom where, via the AR glasses, an image of the AI teacher could seem to appear in front of the room's blackboard or whiteboard, on which AR also makes the relevant learning information appear. The appearance of the teacher could be adapted to suit the cultural background of the students, and it could speak the student's mother tongue. This would be especially important for child migrants adopting to a new life in a new country. For the fully immersive experience, virtual reality or VR glasses could be used. This would suit a group of children who are dispersed over various locations and not sitting side by side in reality. In this situation, the AI teacher and each student could appear as an avatar in a virtual classroom. Your story idea could focus on a group of children learning together for the first time, thanks to AI, but who are actually located all over the globe. various solutions exist to enable the student to respond to the AI teacher. The low-tech solution is via a computer keyboard and mouse, or via a touch-sensitive screen. Alternatively, the student could speak to the AI teacher via their computer's or tablet's microphone. Current speech recognition software is probably not sufficiently developed for an AI teacher's needs. However, if your story idea is set in a future where AI teachers exist, then it's probably safe to assume that current speech recognition software problems have been solved by then. As mentioned earlier in this video, the AI teacher will also need to read body language because a lot of student feedback is non-verbal. For example, if a student is bored or doesn't understand something, they will often fall silent. At its simplest, the AI teacher could use the computer's or tablet's camera, but this will provide a limited field of view. In a formal school setting, the camera could be separate, or multiple cameras could be used to increase the field of view and to monitor a group of children. If your story idea is set in the distant future, your AI teacher could be a talking and walking, listening and watching robot, able to interact with the students just like a human teacher. This would solve most, if not all, of the previous issues. Alternatively, the AI teacher could reside on a computer chip implanted into each child's brain. Your story idea could focus on all sorts of moral issues that this could lead to, such as identity, privacy, and free will. Finally, as also mentioned previously in this video, the AI teacher will need some way to interact physically with students. For example, how will the AI teacher get a disinterested student to engage with the lesson? How can it stop a student disrupting the rest of the class? And how can it stop a student switching the AI teacher off? This will, in part, depend on the teaching environment, which is discussed in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to use any of these story ideas for your own novels, plays, screenplays and TV scripts. To see me ask more open-ended questions, please watch my follow-up video. Please also check out the rest of my YouTube channel, especially where I discuss the various books that I've written. I hope my channel encourages you to buy my books and to read them if you haven't already done so. Finally, please feel free to leave comments below and to like and subscribe this video and my YouTube channel. See you shortly.